So have you ever had one of those times where you're like, can't wait to get that new piece of gear? Well, if that's you, stay tuned. We're going to talk about it. Well, hey everyone, welcome to the JamShed. I'm very excited to talk about today's piece of gear that's come into the shed. And it's my Dean Evo. I've had this thing for probably 2-3 years. I bought it on a red light special. This is a 2006. What drew me to it was this beautiful top that it has. And so I figured, hey, it's cheap. Why not give it a shot? Worst thing that could happen is I don't like it. I'll get rid of it. No big deal. Well, surprise, surprise, it arrived. And shockingly, it's one of the best feeling guitars I've ever had. And it helped me understand that, boy, it's certainly not about what's on the headstock. It's not about that name that's on the headstock as much as it is about how does it feel? What resonates in this particular instrument with you? And it doesn't have to come at a hefty price tag. And so that was my first experience going, oh my goodness, it's not about the name that's on the headstock. Now I can say that, and I'm sure I've said that many times. Like, brands are brands for a reason. They're excellent at marketing and they have great products. But here's the thing, sometimes that off the beaten path thing that you weren't expecting could be the thing that you love and becomes your number one. And so be curious, be inspired, and that's exactly what this did. So let's talk a little bit about the instrument and how it came. Now, it looks good in the photos here and on camera, but it certainly has its battle scars. It's got scratches and dings, and it's missing hunks and chunks of wood out of the neck, and it certainly was not perfect. And as I said, I did some fret work on it, and I cleaned the fretboard, put some fresh slinky strings on there, and I swapped out the pickups. I put in a BurstBucker 3 in this radiator pickup in the neck, and then did just a little work inside the cavity just to clean it up and put an orange drop capacitor in there. There wasn't anything major. The actual potentiometers in there were just fine, and so I left it. And once I got it all set up, I plugged it in, and I was just blown away about the overall experience, more so how it felt, but then certainly the monetization of what I had done here really offset it. Also, I forgot to say that it has Grover tuners on there, and it does have great tuning stability. So just as a platform, it was perfect. Now, I've come a long way in my journey, and certainly this was pleasant. I think this was just kind of the pinnacle of me getting to that point where it was like, all right, I need to actually search for pieces of gear that will inspire me and not break the bank, right? There's got to be things out there, and I've spent enough time playing through amplifiers to go, well, I know what I sound like. I always sound like me, and I love high gain tones, and I like blues tones as well, and certainly clean tones, but I tend to be more of a high gain type person. And so I learned very quickly that often I sound very similar no matter what rig I play through, because I spent a lot of time curating this tone in my mind. And so what is there left to be inspired by if I'm going to play any particular amplifier or speaker combination and I'm still going to sound like me? Well, then it becomes about, well, what inspires you to keep things going? And realistically, it's getting into an instrument that fits, that feels right. And it doesn't always have to come at a great expense. And so this guitar for me represents that very thing. It represents that learning journey, and it's changed gear acquisition for me because I'm not clamoring for that price tag anymore. While I wouldn't turn it away, and if I had an unlimited budget, believe me, I would have every high-end piece of gear that I could possibly get if I had expendable income in that regard, but I don't. And what I do have is a desire to continue this craft. And so for those of you who are new to this whole thing, you don't have to empty your wallet to get into this. You can just find something very simple. Follow this simple set of steps. If it looks good, sounds good, plays good, and it feels good in your hands, then it's good, and go with it. And feel free to experiment. Find all kinds of things. You might find something unique. But be curious and enjoy it. And that's what this whole video was really about. You know, the start of this channel is one about the journey and then how the journey keeps going forward. I don't feel like I have anything inherently different to offer than any other YouTuber out there, or any person who's making content outside of, I just want to share some of the things that I'm doing and that I've learned over the years. And you might find it beneficial. I would love to hear from you after I get this playthrough done and down in the comments. You know, what were those pieces of gear for you? And let's keep that positive vibe going. It's not about good or bad. It's about, well, how do you use it? And in what ways does it inspire you? Or what kind of gems have you found over the years that inspired you, that didn't break your pocketbook, that may inspire others. We can be a unique community where we support each other in that type of understanding, and I think that's important. So with all of that being said, I certainly have talked this thing up like it's something amazing and special, and to me it is, and that's what matters most. You get the benefit of creating the sound you want. And sometimes that's the sound that is most familiar to us. But you can't take the you out of the sound. You will always be part of that because you're the one playing, right? So continue to be curious, and let's hear how this thing sounds. Now, I will tell you the simple setup I have here is truly simple. It's an SM57 run directly into this preamp that I'm plugging into my phone that's operating this whole thing. So it's just a Nakai Quattro. It's nothing special. So what you're hearing here today is just that. So let's get into it. Let's hear it. And there you have it. Great heavy tone, feels great, plays great, and some other time we'll dive a little bit more into this. But you know what? I thought, why not start like this? Why not let this be the first video you put out in the ether? And if you enjoyed it, like, share, and subscribe. And I look forward to catching you all back in the shed for the next one. Have a great day, everybody.